Okay, now it's time to display the confirmation message and insert all of this information to the database. So, step5.php. Let's remove this function, which we've pasted here in the previous video. Open in PHP tag, go back to one of the previous files, copy require once header, and then let's copy require once footer. Okay, so a page now will look a little bit better. Let's create the h1 tag with the message thank you and the paragraph saying thank you for participating in our survey. And we can put the link as well before we close the tag. So br new line a href with the p equals index. Go back to our home page and closing p tag. Okay, so we have this done. If we check our page, it all looks nice. So this is basically what the visitors will see. Now we also have to obviously process our sessions. So then again, we're going to check first if isn't set session step, and this time it's going to be step 4, which has been created in the previous page. If isn't set, then we want to redirect them to p equals submission form and s equals search engine. So this is where we're going to redirect them if they have just jumped straight away onto this page, so they won't really see this page at all. They will see the first page, and then else if they came from the previous page, then we will first unset session step. So all of these step sessions will be removed completely. So we only have sessions with the values populated from the forms, rather than keeping these ones as well. Now if I would like to display the sessions, echo print sessions. So have a look at what's happening. If we refresh the page, you can see we haven't session called step anymore because we've removed this. So all these are basically the records which will be going to the database. So we can remove this echo here. Now we will be creating an array. So with the expected fields, so that no one's going to be injecting any values, because the only values which will be inserted into the database will be the ones which are stored inside of this array, the only field. So expected equals array and semicolon after the closing bracket. Okay, on the first screen we have first name, then we have last name, then we had age, then we had gender, then we had country. Okay, that has to be in between the quotes. Country. Then second screen was interest. So interest. Then we have color. Then we have search engine. And that's everything. So this is the first screen. Then we have second screen, third, fourth, and we are on a fifth, which is a confirmation. So our array contains all of our fields. Now let me just check with the interest whether it was singular plural. I think it was. If array key exists interests, and we're passing interest, so it has to be plural interest. Okay, just to make sure that we don't miss any of the fields. Okay, so now that we have this array, we will create two empty arrays for the SQL. Okay, so SQL field and values. First one will be in fields equals array. Second one will be in values, and it's also an array. Okay, now multi-selection fields, just to indicate which ones are multi-selection, and the only ones were interests. So we create the array called multi array, and we put the value of, let's copy this from here, interests, so that we know which ones are multi-selectable. Okay, now we're creating a for each loop. So for each session, s key equals value. Okay, inside of this for each loop, we'll check in if is an empty value to make sure that we're not passing any empty values here, and value equals SQL escape. We're preparing for the SQL insertion, for interacting with the SQL, so we need to make sure that whatever value we're passing is prepared, is escaping the single quotes, and so on. Then we have key equals explode. Again, we're using our hash string, hash character, and we dividing our key with this character. So again, our key now becomes an array. The first one will be the name of the parameter. The second one will be the value. If there aren't any hashes inside of the name of the specific parameter, then obviously the first key will be the entire name. Okay, now we check if in array, and we check key 0, and we want to check if it's inside of the multi array. So basically, if the first part will be interest, then we have hash and the ID, which will only happen with the interest because we didn't use hashes for anything else. So if it's inside of the multi array, then we want to create array. Sorry, it's not going to be normal braces, it's going to be curly braces. Array with the name of this specific parameter. So we're creating basically if it's going to be interest, because key 0 will be interest in this case. So it's going to be variable called interest, but it's not going to be a variable, it's going to be an array actually with this two square brackets, and we put into this array the value of this specific session. Else we are adding to in fields array the key, key 0, which is the name, and into the in values array we add in the value. Now you can see I'm using the single quotes here for the values, and this single quotes going a little bit to the left for the keys. You don't have to really use this, but I'm just using them because it's a good practice.